What's going on, guys? Brother Russia here, back with another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And today we're taking on the new story event for this first form Frieza from like the Broly movie. And this one's actually going to be a really quick one, more than likely, because there's only 3 stages and he doesn't have an awakening yet. So he just drops right now as like an SSR that you can awaken into a UR. And obviously in like part 2 he'll get an awakening, and then more than likely get an EZA in part 3 like they normally do with all these free-to-play units. So we'll see how good this Frieza is going to be. So they do have a category boost here, and the category boost this time around is actually super bosses. So if we go over here to super boss right here and we go to LRs, here's all of our LRs that we can use. So we'll just go ahead and bring, just some team that we can put together. I guess it doesn't really matter too much because it's a story event and it's not like we're really worried about it too much. I don't think they've ever actually made a story event where you had to worry that you were gonna lose in. So I think we're gonna be a-okay here. But yeah, so what do we have here? So we got this little first form Frieza. As of right now, he is a super bosses category, key 2 attack and defense 30%. Probably when he's fully awakened and EZA'd, he's probably going to be a super bosses key 3 77%. That's typically like what they do with these free-to-play units. On his super, he causes supreme damage to the enemy and raises attack for 1 turn. So it's 30% attack raise. Nothing for defense, which is kind of surprising. And then, so passive wise, he gets key +1, attack and defense 80%. He gets an additional attack and defense 20% up to 60 per attack performed. So he just needs to super 3 times, or no, it's just per attack performed. So even if he just gets additionals off, he's perfectly fine. He gets key +1 to all super bosses category allies. So I assume probably once he EZAs, that'll eventually go to like a key +3. They might just make him a super bosses support unit, maybe like a key 3, or maybe like a key 2 30%, or maybe like a key 3 30%. Is probably what they're going to give him. And then he launches an additional attack with a medium chance for it to be a super when HP is 50% or higher. So as of right now, obviously with him being just an SSR unit, he's got a very bare bones kit. So we'll see what they actually end up doing with him. And I guess my thing is I wonder if they're going to keep him as a first form, or if they're actually going to awaken him into his final form. So it'll be interesting to see which one they end up going with, because this is the he obviously is the Frieza from the Broly movie. So I mean, he obviously in the Broly movie he does go final form and he does go golden. So we do already have a final form Frieza that we are able to farm up from the previous Dragon Ball Super movie. And then you can awaken him into the golden form and then use that as super attack fodder if you kind of choose to do so, which I actually did. I actually did that for the new banner unit. So I'd probably highly suggest it, because almost why wouldn't you? It's it's super easy to farm up. It's only 180 medals. You only have to farm up 9 copies of the Frieza, awaken them all, and get them awakened to golden form, and boom, you got a free SA10, and you didn't have to really do much. Yeah, you're probably going to use a little bit of resources, obviously, with having to awaken them and whatnot. But I mean, realistically, it should be fine. I mean, a lot of those resources you can kind of farm up again, and you can buy like the awakening medals and in the Baba shop daily. So there wouldn't be any issues there. But when it comes to this Frieza and his event, he does have two missions that you have to complete here. The first mission is to beat stage 1 on Z-Hard once. And the other mission is to recruit this Frieza and get him to SA10. That's it. So he's only got 2 missions at the moment. So we recruited him now, and then all we got to do is basically get him to Super Attack 10. So we'll see if we can try to farm up a couple copies here, and see if we can kind of get him to SA10 in this video. But then on top of that, you do want to make sure that you are farming this Frieza up. And the reason why I say that is because there are rainbow tickets that are associated with the awakening of this Frieza, and also with the Beerus story event. So you want to make sure that you farm up both units. You want to make sure that you get both of them done, because you want to make sure that you get these rainbow tickets in order to be able to use them on the you want to make sure you use them on the banner that's going to come in part 3. So when the rest of the tickets show up in part 3, you can kind of get them done, and boom, you have enough to do a free, I think it's a 77 multi, or a 77 unit multi on any of the banners that are going to be up at the time. So it's going to be whatever part 1. So we have our part 1 banner. So we have the LR Broly, and we have LR Gogeta. And then we're going to have whatever is going to be in part 2, whether it's, possibly Cell Max and Beast Gohan, maybe Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo, Beast Gohan and Gamma 1 and 2, or, maybe they go Tournament of Power or something like that and completely switch it up on us. I mean, we have no idea yet. So we don't have, the fan meetup is on the 9th. So we'll find out, what units are going to be then. But until then, you just want to make sure that you get all these missions done. And whenever part 2 drops, you want to make sure you get the missions for part 2 done as well. So that way you can, make sure that you have all your tickets at the very end of the anniversary and be able to perform that little multi there. So I kind of used I actually used a boost. We have a full LR team. I used a boost, and we didn't get a single Frieza drop. Now, I know most people are going to be like, why are you wasting your boosts on farming up free-to-play units? I do this all the time. I mean, I'm just trying to farm up these units like as fast as possible. And if I have to use these, if I have to use my boosts to double the runs, I'm going to do it. Because realistically, I don't think that there should be a limit on these boosts. Like, take the limit off, man. Let me run these, boosted as many times as I want. Because at the end of the day, the more boosted runs I do, the faster I'm gonna blow through my stones. And that just means I have to buy more stones and replenish them, correct? So that's a way that they're gonna make more money. So it's like, just get rid of the amount of times I can boost, and just let me just boost every single stage. Like, we did a boosted run right there with we did it with a support memory as well, and we're sitting at 5 of these Friezas. So I feel like he's going to be a little bit of a pain to actually get done compared to the Beerus one. The Beerus one actually was dropping he was dropping 2 to 4 every single run. I don't know if we just got super lucky, or if he just has a higher drop rate, but that one was way easier to do than whatever this Frieza is going to be. And the way that I like to do these free-to-play units, I like to farm up multiple copies of them, obviously. So I want to make sure that we get the original Awakening done, and then we want to farm up their SSR copy. So this Frieza, for example, he doesn't have an Awakening yet, but he will have an Awakening. So I need to farm up a second copy of this Frieza. So that way, once I awaken the next copy, I have a second copy that is also going to be, all paths open, SA10, and I can rainbow them at a later time whenever I want to use the orbs on them. And it's just, just something a little extra just to have. And then on top of that, you also want to farm up an additional one for that extra super attack 5. So that way you're not wasting any kind of Elder Kais or Dozing Kais or anything like that to try to get that super attack to 15. So, it's like when the farming of these units is taking this long, it's kind of more of an annoyance than anything, because, if I'm running a full LR team like I am right now and getting the maximum boost that I can, there's no way that I should be getting runs with literally zero copies of the unit. So, I mean, I don't know. I really hope that they fix that one day, because again, like, I'm running a full LR team of super bosses and I got one drop just now. So, how many of these like one drop runs am I going to have? You know what I mean? So, we'll do this. So we're sitting at 9 copies. I'll just go ahead and speed up this next part so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me kind of go through this. So I'll run it in like double time or triple time, depending on how many runs I'm actually going to have. So we'll run it then, and get enough to be able to awaken this unit to his UR form, feed in the copies of him, and get him to get him rainbowed, so that way we can get all that in the video. So give me 1 second. All right, so that actually ended up being a little bit faster than I thought it was going to be, because we got this really nice 4 drop right here. So we're sitting at 15 of these FRIEZAS, which no big deal. Obviously, like I said, I want to make sure that we get enough to get a second copy farmed up for him anyway. So we're not too worried about it. So if we go over here, we'll make sure that we get one of these. So we want to give him the full SA9 here. Let's get him to a full SA10. Go ahead and awaken him to his UR form. Go ahead and just feed him all that. Get him to level 100. Now we're going to go over here to the hidden potential. So I don't really know how to build this Frieza. Same thing with the Beerus. I had no idea how to build him. I just kind of gave him just something in his kit, just so we can get him awakened and get it. Or, yeah, like the Beerus, I had to get him awakened and just at least give him something to get these missions done. So I guess I'll just kind of do the same thing for him. Like maybe give him like additionals and crit for now. I'll keep like the 5 dodge on him, and we'll see what his actual, like, I guess we'll just give him another additional. We'll see what his actual build ends up being, like the rest of his kit, once we get around to it. But there we go. We should be able to actually complete the remainder of the missions that we had. So we're able to get the rest of our rainbow tickets here for getting him to SA10, fully awakening, or fully opening up all his dupe paths, and getting him to rainbow status. So now we have a total of 24 tickets out of 50. We'll get another, I think, about 20 or 19 tickets during part... Actually, is it 24? No, I think we'll probably get another like 15 tickets or something like that. I can't remember exactly how many, 15, 14, something like that. We'll get that in part 2. And then we'll get the remainder of them in part 3 before we can do the special banner summon. And on top of that, we completed these missions here for this Frieza. So until part 2, these units are just going to be sitting in my box and waiting until we have more stuff to do with them. So there you guys go. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. And if you did, consider hitting that like button. And if you are new here, consider subscribing. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.